Hello, my name is Leonie, and this is Flosstube number 3. I cannot believe it's been this long since I recorded my last video, but the spring got a little crazy. So here we are, and today's Flosstube is going to be all about minimal progress. And this is just the reality of it, you guys. When life gets busy, sometimes your projects don't get as much love as they should. But without further ado, let me start with some of my finishes. I'm going to try to make this one a nice and quick floss tube. So, you guys have seen I was stitching Satsuma Street's Oology series, and I finished all 4. And then I got time to fully finish them. Last month, I got my paddles from Hobby Lobby. They're their spring paddles. And I realized that I didn't really like the tone of the wood. So I whitewashed it. This is kind of like a hack. You take a little bit of white acrylic paint and dry brush it on. And so I whitewashed it, and I love the look of it whitewashed. However, when I place the eggs onto the whitewash, it just doesn't look good. So you guys can see it's not got enough contrast. And the same holds true for all 4 eggs, unfortunately. So I started brainstorming about what I can do. And oh, here we have I've been playing with some bows, but this is kind of what I'm going for. And what I've decided is I'm gonna dry brush the paddle in one of the colors in the egg. So for this one, I would probably do like a light blue dry brush. So then the bow, which is a neutral color, will stand out, and the pattern itself will stand out a little more. But this is kind of giving you an idea of what the finish is going to look like. So we're so close to having fully finished Oology. If anyone else is stitching these, I think they're beautiful. They really are. And they make a great addition to an Easter table or Easter decor. And Helen D here on Flosstube, she just finished 3 of the eggs, and she finished them in the way that Jody from Satsuma Street recommends, which is with some cording and then a little hanger. And she made a tutorial video, so I'll go ahead and link that in the description, because I think she did a great job with that. So this is finish number 1. I was hoping it would be a full finish before this video, but you can see there are some hiccups, and I think at the end of the day, it needs to be something beautiful, and this just doesn't feel beautiful yet. 2 more finishes. So I have this thing where I'll finish stitching, and then if something requires beading, I'll take like forever to do the beading. So this is Partridge and the Pear, as well as Candy Claus. And both of these are also from Satsuma Street, and I had finished the stitching in December, but I never finished the beading. So now the beading is done, and all I have to do is add a bit of felt and a hanger. So I'd say these are like a finished object, but not fully finished. So yay! That is that. And now moving on to my works in progresses. So my wood pile has gone up a lot, and I'm going to go ahead and blame the Brick City Cross Stitch yard sale for that. They had a needle or a stitcher's yard sale, that's what they called it, and I just got lots of little goodies. So the first of them that I got is this pattern by the Holly and the Ivy from the Drawn Thread. So you can see it's a beautiful Christmas wreath, and then around it it says bring in the house, the ivy, the pine, the spruce, and the fir tree together entwined. So basically it's the 4 different types of trees that are typically used as Christmas trees. I thought it was beautiful. And then the other thing is that the lady who was selling this, she also sold it with some of the silks to stitch it. I've never done a project in silks, so this is my first project in silks, and with that I decided to do it on a linen. So this is a 32 count oatmeal linen from, I think it's Wichelt, however you say it. So I've started, it's this way. Okay, so you can see the start. I actually did not check to see if you guys can see my stitching with my setup today. And that is my kitty cat wanting attention. But anywho, I've just got some of the greenery started. And one of the little, I think it's a little bird, yeah. So it's going beautifully. It's very nice and delicate, cute little stitches. I love, 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 love this pattern. But I have to do this when my mind is 100% on because the stitches are kind of far apart. So this is one that's not for mindless stitching, that's for sure. So we'll put that here. Next up, once again, courtesy of the Brick City Cross Stitch Yard Sale, I started the Country Cottage Needleworks Cottage of the Month series, and my hope is to do every month the corresponding month. So today we're at the end of March, and I am at the end of the March pattern. So here we go. I mean, how cute are the little lambs? I love the lambs. I spent some time living in Ireland, so I always love anything green with lambs. Kind of reminds me of my time there. So I'm guessing I'll finish this weekend, if not early next week. But my goal is to make some kind of display with magnets so I can just switch out the month every month. And I've already kitted up every single month for the rest of the year. So, excuse me, awful noise. So what I've done is I've cut my piece of fabric and put it into the little Ziploc, and then I've got the fancy floss in this Ziploc, but I am waiting to kit up the other threads because like the white and the black, they kind of get reused throughout the series. So just the fancy flosses are kitted up. All right, this way. Next up, we've got the Dimensions Yuletide Village TreeSkirt. So if you've seen my other floss tubes, I think floss tube number 2, I showed you my fully finished Yuletide Village ornaments. So this is a tree skirt that goes in the same collection as those ornaments. They were designed by Charles Wisoki, and he is this big painter, and you can always do a good job of identifying his work. So hold on, this is 11 count Ida. Here we go. And you can see I've got a good start to it. So I've got the house and trees, and then here this is like a little pie cart. This guy's got a little bell. We got some kids playing in the snow. I just think it's a lovely village scene. I am a huge fan of Christmas. I would love it if I just did Christmas stuff all year round. I would be happy if it was Christmas all year round, but I do think that having Christmas come once a year makes it more special. But I cannot wait to finish the tree skirt. I don't think I'll finish it this year. It's kind of a big project. But anyone out here love Charles Wisoki? Because I am finding myself with a hard time saying no to buying any of the other stuff that comes up on eBay or wherever that has his work on it. It's just so traditional, and I just love it. Okay, remember when I said this was going to be the floss tube of minimal progress? Well, here we go. This is the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery's Little Red Riding Hood Parade. Are you ready to see how much I've done? Ta-da! Yep, so, yeah, I just have not gotten to work on this. They are on part 3 of the series, and I am on definitely part 1. So I was talking about how these are my first stitch alongs, and I realized I don't know if I'm a fan of stitch alongs because I end up feeling so behind, and then I don't know. I just feel like I stitch up my own rhythm. It's cool that you're stitching with like a bunch of other people on the same project, but the fact that these patterns come out every month, it like really gives you a reality check of how little you've done on these patterns if you're behind like me. So, definitely behind on this one. It'll get done someday. To be honest, I was just really excited about it because it was my first stitch along. But now that I'm doing it, I'm realizing the pattern maybe isn't the most my style. It's different. It's more, cartoony and fun. And I don't even know where I would put it in my house. So I'm going to make it and save it for when one of my friends has a little baby or something. I think it would make a lovely little gift for a child's room or something like that. But I just don't know where I would put it in my house. Maybe I'll save it for Halloween for now, but I don't know. It's just not calling to me like it did in the beginning. Okay. And then I've shown you guys this one before. This is Merry Christmas by Primrose Cottages. So Primrose Cottages is blowing up right now. They released at Nashville the cutest bee series, and I have them all in my car. I haven't pulled the trigger yet because I'm knee deep in whips. But this is their Merry Christmas freebie. So all I have left to do really is finish the gingerbread men and then add the little what are those? Mistletoe, the little mistletoe banner, and then it'll be ready to get finished. And I have some red rickrack, so I'm thinking it's going to be a little rickrack and then turn it into a cute little pillow to put out at Christmas. So this one's been as fun and relaxing as I hoped it would be. Super good, mindless stitching. Alright, so now this whip is actually kind of a twofer because it's the first project bag I've made. So of course I decided not to make like a zip top project bag. Instead, I decided to go all out for the first project bag and make this cool like open, pockety, zippery project bag. So I'm using it right now. It's storing all of my threads for the Caterpillar Cross Stitch Garden Stitch Along. So as you can see, it folds closed, and then I chose to do an elastic finish to keep it shut. Oh, and all that cat hair on it. Lovely. Yeah, my cat has fallen in love with this thing. So then you open it and you've got all of your threads ready to go, and then I put my little orts up in here, or as I need them. I've got my needle minder here, and then this pocket I actually usually, there they are, keep my scissors in. I just love it. And then in one pocket I'll keep, this is the numbers key for the threads, and then my Q-snap actually fits into the other side. So I really, really love this, and I'm planning on making more. I've actually got a second one pretty much just like this waiting to be binded. So the binding is this outside piece. So I like to hand bind, so that's waiting to be bound, and then I'll have a second one. And then I want to make more because they're very useful. So I was able to bring this to work and stitch on my free time. So this one, this is the Caterpillar Cross Stitch, How Does Your Garden Grow Stitch Along, and this is one I am stitching along with my mother. So 6 months ago yesterday. Oh, hello, Soleil. Okay. Oh, this is Solo. Say hello. You want to say hi to everyone? And yes, he always wears bow ties. Solo's a very curious cat, so he likes to come when I've got things on the table. But I'm stitching this along with my mom, and 6 months ago yesterday, I lost my dad to a stroke. And my dad was a huge gardener. I mean, he probably spent more time in his garden than he did in the house. And we're in Florida, so there were tropical trees, mangoes, bananas, guava. We had lots and lots of figs, and so this is kind of a memorial stitch along for me and my mama. So far I've got some little mushrooms, pumpkins, and strawberries. This is another I'm so behind whip, but you know, this one's actually really fun and mindless to do, and I'm not stressed about finishing it because it's super cute. And she's already released a little gnome, and I think that's the cutest part of the stitch along is the gnome. And you guys might have noticed the needle minder I ordered from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. But this is Norman the gnome, and he's the star of the stitch along, and I am excited to stitch him. Okay, now new starts. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw this, but I started the Raccoon. This is by Vinny P.S. Tan from Cottage Garden Samplings, and this is the third of the Year in the Woods series. And I started it on this 22 count Aida I had in my stash. However, I made a mistake, and I already messed up. See this gray here? That's supposed to be brown. So that's like this is supposed to be like a branch in brown, and I already messed that up. And then like I made another mistake elsewhere. And then to top it all off, this Aida is really old, so it's kind of lost like its lay flatability. So as I'm stitching, the threads are sliding across the Aida, and it's not making very neat cross stitches, which is the whole point of a cross stitch. So I am actually going to start over. I'm not happy with this at all. So I'm going to toss this Aida entirely, actually. Like it genuinely is just not working. It's too old. And start from scratch. And this will be a gift for my younger sister. Her nickname was the Raccoon growing up because she would go into people's things, steal them, and hide them like a raccoon would. So her birthday's in June, so my hope is to get this stitched up and framed for her by then. She doesn't watch my Flosstube, so hopefully she doesn't start now because then she'll know her birthday gift. But I'm using all of the called for colors, and what fabric I use is to be determined because, well, I'm starting over. So here's to that. And then my last start, I've just kitted up. I've got 14 count. I think it's Dusty Rose Aida from Charles Croft. It's an old color. And then I've got all of the threads. I'm using my Sullivan's threads. So Flosstube number 2, you guys saw I bought a full set of these Sullivan's threads, and I'm still giving them the test run. But I kitted up, and I'm going to start this stitch along by Mama Witch Cross Stitch. It's free. She's releasing part of the pattern every Monday. She is a Russian stitcher, so unfortunately her shop was closed because Etsy is now closing all Russian shops in solidarity with Ukraine. And, you know, this just goes to show that, you know, with this war, it's affecting a lot of people. Let's leave it at that. And taking a play from Lori's book, she reminds every viewer at her Flosstubes every week to please continue praying for peace, praying for Ukraine, praying for this war to end. It's genuinely a senseless war. And I get a little worked up about it, but she's doing this for free. And then, you know, just keep praying for peace, you guys. What a crazy time we live in. Yeah. Moving on, I actually won a giveaway on Instagram from Michelle at Under the Woolen Window. Oh, Under the Woolen Willow, excuse me. And the cool thing about this giveaway is that whoever you tagged in the giveaway also won the kit. So I won, and so did So Glover Creations. She's another Flosstuber. She's another Florida girl. And I actually really love her Flosstube. She is the queen of glow-in-the-dark. So if you've ever wanted to use glow-in-the-dark threads, definitely go check her channel out because she's done a full comparison on there. So I'll link her profile down below. But that's all I've got for today. We did our finishes, our whips, and our starts. And then, in the future, I've ordered mouse capades, so I'll be starting to stitch that too, but that's a future project. Thank you all so much for being here. Happy Saturday, and this was Flosstube number 3. If you want, please leave a comment down below. I would love to interact with you guys. I'm also on Instagram at maple_stitches, and I'll see you all next time.